Minister, thanks very much for joining us at Asia House. How does Malaysia plan to navigate the growing protectionist sentiment in global trade?
Now, Malaysia, we participated in this 13 of this free trade agreement, of which 6 is a regional trade agreement, which including ASEAN 10 countries. Then we have the ASEAN China, ASEAN Japan, and so on. Now this and also we have bilateral free trade agreement with this Turkey, with India, with Japan, Korea. Now, when you sign this free trade agreement, in a way you be committed to an open policy. Because under free trade agreement, you have to liberalize in 3 areas: your trading goods, your services, and also the investment. So you have to facilitate these 3 areas, and so you cannot have this protection policy. And I was told that there's already about 630 of free trade agreement all over the world, and of which 420 of them already concluded, and 200 over still under negotiation. Now Malaysia knows the importance of this free trade agreement, so we want to participate into this free trade agreement as many as possible, so that we can integrate into a bigger market access. So this is our direction. So by hoping our trading goods, our services can go into all these trading the countries which we have signed free trade agreement. While doing so, we cannot blocking investors from other countries to come into this country. So this is a two-way flow. So while we're expecting to have a more market access, so we have to liberalize. So this is our direction.
China's economy is slowing. What impact is that slowdown going to have on Malaysia's trade and investment?
Now, China in the past, we have a very strong trading volume with China. Since 2013, we achieved $100 billion trading volume with China, in particular electronic and electric, and also the commodities, our palm oils, rubber products, and so on. Now, of course, the slowdown in China will definitely affect the demand of the export to China. So in order to facilitate that, we have to look into the new areas. We are looking into automobiles. We are looking into this joint supply chain. So some of the now, because China's are facing excess capacities, so we are trying to see maybe some of the area we work together. For instance, the steel industries, China has excess capacity, so we are working with China whether together we can explore new areas in the Central Asia, to India, Pakistan. So together our maybe some of the production can be done in Malaysia, and so then together we can go into this new market. And so we are looking into that possibilities, because China, they don't have this free trade agreement with many of the countries like Iran. So like for Malaysia, we have the like ASEAN. So for Malaysia, China will work with us as a trading hub, as a window for Malaysia to go into all these countries where we have the free trade agreement. So by doing so, we hope we can increase our trading with China.
The ringgit hit a 19-year low back in January, and it's been volatile, and controls have been put on the ringgit in some instances. Do you see the ringgit firstly stabilizing and secondly recovering?
Yeah, we have taken some mitigating factors. In the past, there's some our equity market, there's the American fund are exceeding, So for 2015, about 50 billion exceeding our equity market. But that's overall. It's not only for Malaysian, for the ASEAN market as a whole, they're exceeding. And due to this, the American new political situation, so we can see that this American fund are not coming in the short run. So we have to look into new there's investors like China, from India, so they can come into our capital market, our equity market, and also and now our export is doing very well. We can do better. Like last year, we achieved 1.48 trillion, so we hope we can achieve 1.5 trillion and so on. So with all these factors, I hope we can improve further the strength of the ringgit.
Okay. Minister Mustafa Mohammed said recently that he expects a fall in investment this year. How sharp a decline in investment are you anticipating?
Now, I think what he means is that because last year we have 2015 in particular and 2016 we have some lumpy projects. The Pengerang, we have big investment coming in. So now this lumpy project, they do not come by every year. So I think what he means is that after this lumpy project era is over, so you can expect to see some decline in terms of investment. But for Malaysia, our domestic investment still very strong, constitute more than 60% of this investment in the country. So while we are looking for new investors from overseas, so we are also encouraging our own investment, the domestic investment. So we are open up new areas. Though we try to decentralize to the urban area. So we open up a lot of rural area like this Iskandar development, like the Northern Corridor, Southern Corridor, Eastern Corridors. We are looking into all this in the East Malaysia, Sarawak, Sabah. We open up a lot of new areas. So we hope we can have a balance of this, attract investors of various interests to come to the country, so can compensate of the losses during when we have this like the Pengerang. You're talking about like the Arabian. They announced the Arabian king came to Malaysia last month. He announced that $7 billion US investment. So we need to find new investment every year to make sure that we can sustain the type of investment coming to Malaysia.
Okay. Moody's said in a recent report that Malaysia is vulnerable to capital outflows. Is that a concern for you, and are you looking at any potential policy changes to mitigate that risk?
Yeah, I think our Prime Minister he's personally taking a lot of measure to to mitigate this capital outflow because now we have to create a very stable economic situation in Malaysia and also for the ASEAN, because now the investors are looking ASEAN as a whole. So when they exit ASEAN, they exit from every country in ASEAN, not only from Malaysia, they exit from Thailand, from Indonesia. So for ASEAN as a whole, we need to create a stability for that, so that the foreign investment, foreign equity, the fund managers who are coming into this our equity and capital market, we are looking for new partners in China, India, and all this, so that they can come into our this equity and capital market. I think that will be able to compensate a lot in case there's a capital outflow from certain sectors. So they are also, we can compensate back into others to come into to stabilize our this capital market.
There's been a period of some political turmoil in Malaysia. Recently there's been speculation that lower house elections might be held early, perhaps before the end of the year. Is that likely?
Now our term expired May 2018. Next year, so our term expired. Now there's for the government, you need to go for to prepare for January election. Our party machinery is is very huge. So you cannot say that wait until year 2018 you start mobilize your mechanism. So we need to mobilize our mechanism, let them warm up so that they can face the general election. The next, we are called it 14 general election. There's our terms expired on May 2018. So as such, while we are moving our mechanism, so there's a lot of anticipation saying that there will be early election. But I think we are still looking into good timing. I think the Prime Minister looking for a good timing to declare that we'll call for a general election. But I think there's a stage we are mobilizing, warming up our mechanism. So we still have time until May next year. So it can be or cannot be, I'm not very sure, but if you have to look at the whole situation in the country, also the geopolitical situation, and so the world situation which affects the economy. So all the factors we have to look into. I think maybe second half of the year we have more clarity on that. Then I think that we can decide which is a good timing for us to declare the next general election.
Minister, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you. My pleasure. Thank you. Thank you.